Hey y'all, it's Sly. What's up? Welcome to Sly Has a Story. My story today involves this car. That's right. This car is the car that brought me cross country from Louisiana to California. Now the funny thing is that car fit pretty much everything that I owned at the time. Well, everything that was necessary for my life at the time in the car. The only things that didn't fit were my television and my guitar, which I only really regret one of those not fitting, and that was the guitar. I miss my guitar, but I, on an impulse, I was working in a situation and things changed, and I was like, all right, well, what the hell am I going to do now? And I remembered that eighth grader who said, I'm moving to Los Angeles one day. So I did. I picked a day and says, all right, I'm gonna leave on like the 14th, and I'll be there by the 16th, and that'll give me time to do this, this, and this. I had a plan. I had it all planned out, except for I didn't. I didn't know what the I was doing at all. Like a car full of stuff, $3,000, no job lined up, no family, no friends, nothing. So I leaped. I jumped. I just went, whew, right? Started driving. Got through Texas. Uh, Texas was actually pretty rough because as soon as I hit the border and I hit the first gas station, my debit card's like, dude, like, there's some stuff going on. You're being flagged in Texas. What's going on? It's like, oh my God, really? So got that taken care of real fast. Told them I was moving. I guess there's actually an app or a page or something you're supposed to set up when you're moving and you're traveling so that they know you're traveling so they don't flag you. Well, I learned something new that day, right? I was like, holy crap, okay. So, anyways, continue my drive, and anybody that knows I hate driving. I fall asleep. I get drowsy really quickly. Um, I remember driving through the hills in Afghanistan and having to press my leg against the hub inside of the up armored Humvee because it gets super hot, and I was falling asleep in the mountains. Not a good idea. So, right, whatever it takes to stay awake and complete the mission. But here in Los Angeles, on the way to Los Angeles, I'm driving, and I was able to stay awake pretty well because I was listening to audiobooks. I feel like it was a Star Wars book of some sort, narrated by Mark Thompson. By the way, if you're a fan of audiobooks and you're a fan of Star Wars, I highly recommend any audiobook narrated by Mark Thompson. It's gold. Uh, but that little plug aside, I didn't have a place to stay. I had no job, and I made a phone call. The guy I used to game with, Electo, he lived in Apple Valley or somewhere abouts there, and I was like, all right, cool. So call him up, like, yo, dude, I'm moving to California. Is it cool? Like, could I crash at your place? Turns out it was. So I crashed at his place at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. or something. Slept for like 2, 3 hours, enough to stretch, decompress, get out of that little bitty car, and then I continued my drive to Los Angeles. And I remember coming in from Ontario and seeing the sprawl of the city for the first time, and like I had no idea where I was. I had no idea what I was looking at. And so the first thing I'm seeing is like that part of the city or the state area, whatever, Pasadena and that stuff. So like I have no idea what to expect. I hadn't seen downtown LA yet. I hadn't seen any of it, but I ended up finding a Taco Bell because I was hungry and I needed to do some research, right? Like I needed to find I needed to find a place to live because frankly, I don't have one and I don't know where I'm sleeping tonight other than my car. And that sucks, right? So I stop at Taco Bell, I get me some food, and then I go through Craigslist and find a couple options. There's a apartment complex in Burbank that's got a vacancy, and then there's a couple other houses here and there. So the first thing I want to do is go check this apartment complex, right? I'm like, okay, well, we'll go check the apartment complex. Get to the apartment complex, and right off the bat, they're like, okay, so you're gonna have 3 times the month's rent, so blah blah blah. It was like, might have been $600 or $700. Wasn't too ridiculous because I went and looked at it. Obviously, I thought I could afford it. Um, but as soon as they were like asking about the job and then having the 2 months rent and then uh, 2 times the deposit or something, which is like it just ended up being ridiculous. I had like 3 grand. So apartments were off, right? No apartments. So my only other option now at this point is to find a room in a house, right? Because I don't have any choice. What the? I drove to California with literally zero plan. Like I was like, I'm supposed to be in California, so it's gonna happen. Watch. Like I don't think I said that, but Jesus Christ, if I didn't, I should have. Because sure enough, place I looked at about 2 months prior in November when I decided I was coming out here was still available. The price was perfect. It was like 575 or 540 or something a month, right? Pretty good price plus utilities. It was in North Hollywood, which isn't a terrible area to be in, and it was a house with artists, other people in the industries. So I felt like I hit the jackpot, and I ended up staying there for 4 years, and it was a great 4 years. But when you just look at the timing and the situation and how I left when I did and found the place that I was looking at when I first decided I was going to go, it's uncanny. Like, I couldn't have planned that better if I tried. And I don't think I could have. Like, I took a shot in the dark, and it paid off. I'm dealing with some other things like health wise and mental health wise from my service in Afghanistan, but on the California side of things, I think there's a part of me that never thought I'd get here, and I did. Thank you for listening.